The American flag. The Statue of Liberty. The Lincoln Memorial. And of course, Harborough Auto. The Dynasty Podcast is brought to you by Harborough Auto. Winner of the 2014 Dealer of the Year Award, Harborough Auto has a glorious inventory of certified pre-owned cars and trucks. Stop dicking around. Do your duty as an American citizen and check out Harborough Auto today.
It's time to get things started on the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, sexuational. This is what we call the Dynasty Podcast.
Welcome to episode number 7 of the Dynasty Podcast, the only podcast which comes to you thanks to the motherfucking Harborough Auto. I'm Commissioner Eric Costanza. On the phone, we have co-host, again, co-hosting with me, Coach Johnny C. Johnny C., hello, and thank you.
Hello.
Harborough Auto, kick-ass, aren't they? Kick-ass motherfuckers.
You know, I said this last time, and I'm just going to say it again. Harborough Auto is probably a gift from God.
Yes.
And I'm an atheist, so that says a lot.
That's saying something right there.
And I don't think I actually even said that last time I was on the show.
No,
so
you
that's
didn't.
been said before.
Exactly. So we have a jam-packed show here. We're going to get right into it. Firstly, obviously, edition number 2 of the Riverdale Gazette has been sent. Everyone should have received it by now. I believe I did get one person confirm or one or two people through the Twitter and the Facebook. John, did you get yours, and what were your thoughts?
Yes, I got it, and as always, it's good. It's good dump reading.
Mm-hmm. Any particular favorite thing in there that you had? I know we did the Contender Pretender. That we always do. Obviously, a draft recap and with some of the pictures and a few other things like Bub's bowl predictions scorecard and the draft pick of the year predictions were unveiled. Anything that stood out to you that you enjoyed the most, or just really all of it was just wonderful while taking a dump?
The whole experience, really.
Mm-hmm. It always is. Now, we had another thing actually come up during this past weeks of events here. I don't know if you noticed, Johnny, but Bub and I we tied in scoring the most points for this past week. So we didn't play each other, but we had I think we both scored 139 points.
Who did you tie with? Did you say?
Bubba and I.
Oh.
Yeah. So the question at hand here is, what the fuck happens now? Like, who wins like the most weekly point? Little thing we got going on here. So, Bub and I had a little internal meeting about it. Him and I couldn't come to a resolution between the two of us. Obviously he felt as if he should get it. I felt as if I should get it. Reason being is because I believe that, so in the rule book, it states, and you're going to feel free to look it up if you'd like, but you can trust me, it says in the head-to-head scoring section, it says that bench points decide head-to-head tiebreakers. However, that's obviously regarding head-to-head matchups. And nowhere in the rule book does it say or govern anything towards who wins when it comes to, who has the highest point total of the week, not head-to-head matchups. So that was my our argument is that it doesn't say it in there, so we need to basically just split it. Bub's argument was, well, we should interpret the rule book, by saying that he should get it because he had the most bench points. So we went to the Phil and Jay Young, the Dynasty board members. They split. One felt one way, one felt the other. So that didn't help us. I mean, it helped us. It's not like they didn't help us. They tried to help us, but at the end of the day, they didn't help us, John. So what do we do? So Bubba went ahead. We were going to get in touch with the fantasy resolution, fantasy dispute people that we had on the show once. But Bubba actually reached out to good old Davey Richard, Johnny. And Dave came back and said, yeah, there's nothing in the rule book that governs it, so you're really just going to split it. I suggest, next year you put something in the rule book. So that's, it was an internal little thing we had going on, nothing, no drama or anything like that. Dave Richard helped us resolve the issue. Bub agreed to split it, so that's what we do. That's what we did. Thoughts?
Great job.
Yeah, I totally agree. Everyone did a wonderful job. So on the show, we're going to go ahead and discuss Week 6. We're going to review Week 7. We're going to go ahead and have our first and long-awaited first segment here of Lisa's Lessons. John, looking forward to this. Our mother, obviously, she's a fan favorite of many coaches out there. This was suggested by Mr. Matt Whiffen to do this segment, so hopefully it does not disappoint. And that's not all. We're also going to welcome on Zach and Chris and have our Dynasty Oddsmaker segment. We had one in the beginning of the year. I'd like to have one here around the middle, maybe towards the end. So we got ourselves an exciting show, Johnny C. Before we really get into it, give me one final thought or word.
Sure. It'll be more of a question to you.
Okay.
When you were a teenager, did you ever try to, you know what I'm trying to ask. Did you ever try to take care of yourself with your own mouth?
Now let's take a look into last week's results. Who kicked some ass? Who sucked?
So, Johnny C., you and I had the privilege of watching this past week's games, which was obviously Week 6, over at Coach Philly T's house. Brandon also joined us. That was great. We had a good time. I would like you, Johnny C., because maybe the people won't believe me, but they'll believe you. I want you to tell the people who was the first reporter to break the news that Stephen Ridley and Gerard Mayo, although it doesn't affect fantasy as much, snipped their ACLs and were out for the year.
Well, Scooper, I would have to give that one to you, as upon seeing the injuries, you immediately deemed them out for the year.
That is correct.
And we all laughed at it because you meant it as a joke, but it happened to actually become true. And I commend you for it.
Well, thank you. I also tweeted it out on the Riverdale Gazette, in which I actually got a couple of foreign followers who maybe think I'm a legit source of information, but it ended up being accurate. So this is how we build, shit here. This is how we build shit. So let's go ahead and get into last week's results here. So the Rockdalian Senators, they continue their miracle season by beating Yellow Peril, though Peril did score their 5,000th all-time point. So congratulations to Jay Young. Due to the another clunker by Percy Harvin, the Pig Newtons fell to Brutal Deluxe. Soul Glow defeated Hong Kong. Bubblegum Shrimp obviously beat the Satanists. And Bub actually, dating back to last year, has won 8 in a row. And the Loggers, they lost their 3rd straight game. And in the lowest scoring game of the week, Candy Quacks took down VIP on Swole for the first time in franchise history. So, John, what are some of your thoughts regarding Week 6?
I can't believe it's here. I can't believe we're going into Week 7. But besides that, great. Congratulations to Jay Young. You're a great man. And I wish I was your young small boy. And great job, Bubba. You're 8-0 since last year. Easy win, obviously. But to be honest, I was a little proud of my team for even getting close to triple digits this year. I would get that this week, excuse me.
Yeah, you're what, like 93 or so? Kaepernick had a great game.
I put up 93 points, baby. And if I played, I don't know, Hong Kong or Soul Glow, I would have had my first win.
Or Zach or Chris.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, speaking of Zach, the last time he beat, or I should say the last time he won 2 games in a row, which isn't that hard of a feat. But the last time he's won 2 games in a row was back in 2012's Dynasty IX when he won in Week 6 and 7. It's been a long time since he put together a couple of back-to-back wins. So Zach was able to. It's adorable, isn't it? And VIP, he did not play Deshaun Jackson this past week. Instead, he played, I think, Bishop Sankey, Eric Decker, guys like that. That decision was made him lose. So, again, another coaching decision, which is certainly affecting the outcomes here.
Maybe.
Well, no, it is. It's math, John.
Yeah, it's a coaching decision, but I mean, it's a crapshoot. It's total luck, right?
I think it's partly luck. Sure, it's partly luck, but those are some of the decisions that help make you win or lose, doesn't it?
I suppose, or maybe it's the fantasy god.
Some of it is sure the fantasy gods. Sure it is. And Phil also, he's had a quarterback conundrum. He's got the Andy Dalton and Kirk Cousins and Big Ben, I believe. He ended up going with Big Ben, and if he played one of the other two guys again, he would have won. So again, you can say fantasy gods, you can say coaching decision. It's probably a little bit of both. Anyway, those are some of the little tidbits I have. John, do you have any tidbits?
Tidbits?
Yes, tidbits, factoids, statistics.
Well, funny you should say that, Scooper.
Oh.
Did you know that since the very first week of the Dynasty, back in Dynasty Season 1, Coach Phil Tamula has led the league in all-time points. It's taken 11 and a half years and 156 games. But this past week, you, the Riverdale Scoopers, have surpassed the Pig Newtons, and you now lead the league in scoring the most all-time points.
So,
and you know what? I came up with that. I discovered that on my own accord. It was my own research and investigation, and I wanted to bring that out to the world.
Well, thank you for that research. That's a wonderful job by you. Now I get a trophy or some sort of money for that, I assume?
Nope.
Shit. Okay. Well, Phil actually also got a hold of this information somehow, and he provided a quote that I'm going to read. This is quote Phil Tamulus regarding this news. He says, "I'm now a liar. I'm a fraud. I lied to the CVS cashier on Monday. I lied to the mailman on Tuesday. For 11 and a half years, I've been greeting these common folk with my custom, the Dynasty's #1 score jersey. Now, it's just all a lie." Well, Phil, it's actually not a lie because you weren't lying. You were the #1 scorer. But now, it's in the past. It is in the history books. Because there is another team that has overtaken you. Granted, you may re-overtake me again this week, but we shall see. We shall see.
Okay, children, why don't we all gather the fuck around? Because it's time for Lisa's lessons.
All right, Johnny C. So the long-awaited moment is here. We're going to go ahead and get our mom, Lisa Costanza, on the line. Ask her some questions about football, about fantasy, about life, and see what she has to say. It's a new segment. We'll see how it works out. We're kind of going on the fly here, so let's go ahead and see what we can do. It may take a moment to get her on the line. You may need to be on. Oh shit! I think I just accidentally hung up on Johnny C. He is calling me back. Johnny, are you there?
I'm there. My call failed.
Your call failed. Okay, let's see if we can get our mom on the line. Hold a second, please. We are working the line here. We're working the phones. This is all taking place live here at Riverdale Studios. Our mother is supposed to be waiting by the phone line. I know she's had some issues with Charter lately. I don't know if you guys follow her on the Facebook. She likes to inform us all of those doings, which I appreciate. Let's see what we got. Yes, hello, Mother.
Yes?
Yes, this is your son, Eric, here, and I believe we have John on the line, too. I think you're familiar with him. He's your second youngest son. John, are you there?
Hi.
Hi.
Mother.
What are you doing?
Hi, everybody.
What are you doing?
What does that matter? I'm putting groceries away.
Well, it's a simple question, and you should have yielded a simple answer without the attitude.
I'm putting groceries away.
Thank you.
There we go. Well, if you could take a moment to stop putting the groceries away, because we have our first Lisa's Lessons segment here on the Dynasty Podcast. Everyone's looking forward to it. Everyone's excited. We have a couple questions here for you, Mother, and we'd like to hear what you'd have to say. So the first question here is, you're obviously a fan of the show. You aren't forced to listen to the show. You proactively enjoy listening. What we'd like to know is, could you tell us maybe one thing about the show that's like a positive, good thing that you enjoy, and then maybe one thing that is maybe a negative, or maybe something that we can do more that you like hearing that maybe we don't do as much, that you that you want to hear more?
Got to give it a little thought, but positive. I'll start off with the positive. I enjoy the human aspect to the program. As far as that means more, I guess this is like a female point of view. I like to hear more about the personal aspect of players, some of the interviews that you've had.
Mm-hmm.
So that I would like to see more of. And I do enjoy the banter and of you. I mean, Eric and Bob together. I enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't understand even the different teams of each person and strategy and statistics and the records and what leagues people are in. I tune off on that.
Mm-hmm.
Who's playing who, points. I don't even understand fantasy football that much.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Understand. Thank you. A couple more questions for you. A little bit more rapid fire here. Katy Perry was recently announced as being this year's Super Bowl halftime entertainment. In your many years of watching Super Bowls, who would you say was maybe your personal favorite halftime performance from what you can remember?
Oh, that's hard. Because I don't know why the Michael Jackson one sticks in my head.
See, I don't remember the Michael Jackson one. John,
well, maybe he wasn't on then.
John, do you remember Michael Jackson doing halftime entertainment at a Super Bowl?
Vividly, actually. It was a wonderful performance. That was at during height when we were like huge fans of MJ at that time. We're talking late 80s. You know, we were a couple of stupid idiot kids. And I think the reason why it stands out to you, Mom, is mainly because you were probably half in the living room watching the game and the performance, and half in the bedroom taking care of Eric, because he was violently ill, as he always was.
You're absolutely right. And now I even remember it was the Dallas Cowboys were in that Super Bowl.
So it probably wasn't late 80s then. It was probably early 90s.
Yes, probably. I
remember him being very sick.
Yeah, this is starting to ring a bell. With Super Bowls, obviously, even when I was a kid, you guys can attest that one of the things I look forward to every year, as maybe some of you do. And I was violently ill and sick on Super Bowl Sunday. I couldn't enjoy the game. It was Thurman Thomas versus Emmitt Smith. I remember it now. Michael Jackson, halftime entertainment. I vomited during the halftime performance. For any of you that may or may not know, vomiting for me is a serious situation. John, do you agree, first of all, that when I vomit, it's not like a normal, throwing up session for normal people?
No, I can attest to that. The whole state of Massachusetts must hear it.
Yes, I've missed a bunch of Foursquare tournaments, halftime entertainment. Bad luck here for sometimes there for the scooper. I got another question for you.
It sounds like, if I can actually talk, it sounds like a black hole open and out, and if you basically, the force of your regurgitation opens up a portal to a hell dimension.
Alls I know is that after I vomit, I I poop blood for a week, and my ribs are hurt. They're all pulled muscles in there.
All right, that's unnecessary.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you were sick this past Super Bowl, too, I'll have you know.
Yep, sure was. So Coach Bubby Palucha, he recently tweeted that only women watch Super Bowl halftime shows. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, possibly. I don't know. I mean, is there proof of that?
Probably not. He probably doesn't have proof because he's a fucking he's an asshole. Pardon my language, mother.
I doubt the last Super Bowl where Beyonce showed off her rear end. Although was that the halftime show?
I believe it was.
Which I found not family friendly. So
Offended.
ask him if he saw that.
We will.
She just called you out, Bob, and she's probably right. You definitely watched.
Yeah, you bub. And then lastly, your youngest son, Mom, he's here with us, Coach Johnny C. He has won a Dynasty championship, but this year he's currently 0-6 and not looking too good. What are your opinions about your baby boy?
I asked him each week how he did on that previous weekend, and I do it asking almost quietly because I got a feeling I know what the answer is. And once again, he tells me that he didn't win. I say, why? And he says, because it's the bridge year. So whatever all that means, that's why.
Bridge year it is. Well, thank you for joining us. Maybe we'll have you on again if you would like, and continue to listen to the show if you'd like. We certainly enjoy your ears listening to us. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And that was another one of Lisa's lessons.
Shit, somebody get a bucket. Ah! Ah!
Stop everything. Seek shelter. Run for the hills. We have ourselves breaking news from the world of the Dynasty.
Shit.
Okay, we got ourselves a trade. Handy Quacks and... What, John?
I said shit.
Shit, yes. Handy Quacks has obtained tight end Delaney Walker of the Titans and a
How many tight ends does that make for him?
Yeah. Yes. Anyway, he's obtained Walker and a 10th round pick from Hong Kong. Hong Kong has received Giants tight end Larry Donnell, and an 8th round pick. Thoughts on the trade, John?
No, I have none.
Yeah. Zach obviously had, a situation, as he always does, the draft regarding tight ends. He's kind of been playing a little bit of the waiver wire free agent, for tight ends this year. Some have worked out, some haven't. Maybe he thought he hit goal with Donnell, but he's kind of been tailing off. So now he's trying to, hope that Delaney Walker continues a, pretty decent season, giving up an 8th, getting back to 10th. Makes sense. Obviously makes sense for Matt. So, let's track that trade and see who gets the better of the deal at the end of the day. We're going to do that. We're going to do that shit.
Now, let's take a look into the future with next week's matchups.
Alrighty, so as we enter Week 7, this is actually, we're going to be playing the last team in your division who you haven't played yet, and it's actually the only team in your division who you're only going to play once versus twice. So yeah, see? So in the North, we have the 0-6 Transgender Satanists. Going up. That's you. And do you know who you're playing this week, John?
No.
I'll give you a hint. You're talking to him.
Richard Attenborough?
Correct.
He died like 2 months ago.
Correct. And I'll tell you one thing. If there's a game that you will win this year, you know who it would be against. You own me. You're actually 12-7 all time against me. This will be our 20th game, which ties Phil and Will. Not trying. You think I'm trying to set up the reverse jinx, don't you? I'm serious. I could see you. I could see you beating me. I can see it.
Well, it's a crapshoot, so I wouldn't be surprised. But I am. If I was a betting man, which I'm really not, besides this league that we obviously are in, I would definitely be betting on you. Now that you mention it, yes, I actually was looking at the projections earlier today, but I forgot that I was playing you. And the projections, if I remember, you're gonna score 140 something points against my 70. So, but yeah, who knows?
Who knows? We'll see. The 6-0 Bubblegum Shrimp up against the 2-4 VIP on Swole, and 2-4 Loggers up against 3-3 Handy Quacks. And in the South, we have the 3-3 Yellow Peril up against the 2-4 Pig Newtons, 2-4 Soul Glow against the 4-2 Brutal Deluxe, and the 5-1 Senators up against the 2-4 Hong Kong Cavaliers. John, I don't know if I went through that too quickly for you, but do you have maybe a game of the week that you'd like us to look into more than the others? John, are you there?
I'm thinking.
Sorry.
You went pretty quick.
I did. How about the, I think the 2-4 Loggers against 3-3 Handy Quacks is somewhat of a big game.
That's a doozy.
Yeah, and then probably the 3-3 Peril and 2-4 Pig Newtons, also a big one. I'll let you pick between the two, randomly. Who do you got?
Loggers, Handy Quacks.
There it is. Let's listen to Bubba's bold predictions, shall we?
Let's.
At the mid-season hangout, Ben will win 742 tickets playing skee ball.
Get a notepad and pencil ready because it's time for another edition of Bubba's Bold Prediction.
I will drink more beers this weekend than the number of people at Jacksonville's next home game.
This is your number 1 ranked Bubblegum Shrimp coach, Bo Palooza. I have 2 bold predictions today. Number 1, division leader Will and the Rockdalian Senators will lose this week to the Hong Kong Cavaliers. And secondly, after this week, there will be not 1, but 2 teams that sell.
Interesting. What do you think, John?
Who are the 2 sellers going to be?
That's a good question. I mean, Bubba's playing Chris, so if he beats Chris, he drops down to 2-5. I mean, maybe Chris. Ben and Zach are playing, so if Ben loses, maybe Ben. Jay Young's playing Phil, so if Phil loses, maybe Phil. And I don't think Brian's officially a official seller yet, right? So if he loses,
should be.
So I don't know. We'll see. Bub hasn't been too good with these predictions, but he's got a couple that were close. So we'll see how it pans out. We'll see, Bubba.
Years of sports gambling experience has led these 2 geniuses to become the Dynasty Odds Makers.
All right, so we have the Dynasty Odds Makers, Chris and Zach, here on the line. Obviously brought to us all by Harborough Auto. Wonderful, glorious establishment. Zach and Chris, before we ask you some odds maker types questions, so you guys obviously do your Sunday morning videos. I think it's been pretty good. What are your thoughts on it? How's it going so far?
I actually think they're going pretty well. Some weeks are a little rougher than others when they're not really prepared, but yeah, I think overall it's been pretty good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. We're getting better every week.
Absolutely. So, Chris, I'll start with you, and I'm going to ask you both a quick question about your team, and then we'll talk about some of the odds maker stuff. Might as well take advantage while we got you, right? Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That's what I say. So, Chris, you're at 2-4 right now. What player are you the most frustrated at on a personal level?
Which player?
Yeah.
Oh, God. All-star. Yeah, I mean, I guess probably Drew Brees.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for him to bust out a little bit. I thought I made a decent deal with Johnny. I gave up a decent amount, but this is not what I expected out of Drew.
Yeah, he's been a little
Still
disappointing.
a long season, but I'm getting sick and tired of his shit.
Right? I don't blame you.
Sorry. Yeah.
So, and Zach, albeit you only scored 75 points, but you did go ahead and beat VIP here this past week. It was the first time you've ever beaten him. How'd that feel?
Wow, I didn't know that. That's embarrassing. I don't know. I mean, it was kind of a crappy win, so I can't be too excited. And I was at a wedding all day, so I didn't really get to watch the games. But I mean, I guess that's a little karma for me playing the team that scored the most points twice already and losing. So I guess I'll the only team I would beat this week is Heat, so I guess I'll take the win.
Absolutely. John, did you say something in the background?
I said Big Jim.
Big Jimmy.
Yeah, Big Jim tied the knot.
That's
right.
Son of a bitch. Yeah. That's son of a bitch. Yeah, I know. Who does that? So, oddsmaker questions. Let's go. Rapid fire. Here we go. What has the best chance of happening, guys? Bubblegum Shrimp going undefeated, or the transgender Satanist becomes the first team ever to go 0-15?
I'll take this one first, teams. I think there's literally zero chance that Bub goes undefeated, and I don't think there's a very good chance that Johnny loses every game, but I would say that's more probable than Bubba going undefeated. This team is just not that good. He's gotten lucky. Yeah, I'm going to have to echo that. I mean, for starters, I'm going to beat Bub this week, so that's going to end right here. Bottom line, DeMarco Murray might die by like week 10 if they keep running him like this, so that's basically carrying Bub's team, so I wouldn't count on that very much longer. He has absolutely no depth, zero depth. He just dropped him at Seattle, so I showed you how good his running backs are.
All right. Well, speaking of the Chris Bub game, Chris, when you listen back to the podcast, you'll hear that Bub kind of had an indirect bold prediction that possibly could, be geared towards you. So we'll see. Second question: what is the percentage chance of the Rockdalian Senators, this miracle bastard team, this bastard, the Rockdalian Senators, making it to the Dynasty Bowl 11?
You go first. Yeah, I'll take that. I'm going to give it like 7% chance.
Mm-hmm.
I think Will's honeymoon's just about over now. He's going to get back to reality pretty soon. Yeah, I'll go a little high. I'll take 20. I think you'd probably make the playoffs, unfortunately. The team is just good enough to beat the shit teams in this league, but you got enough wins already that I think this speaking of the playoffs, so, but I don't think you're going to sure out what you get there. The team's really not that good.
Okay.
Fucking Eddie Royal.
Eddie Royal, yeah, he just got banged up. What is the percentage chance that Brutal Deluxe just makes it to the playoffs?
I actually don't think Brandon's going to make it, because if he makes it and Will makes it, that means I don't. So I'm going to say there's a 10% chance he makes it. Hopefully his Broncos fucking will plane crash or something. Yeah, I'm going to go much higher on that. I think he's got a closer to a 45% chance, just based on there's got to be a few more of those Broncos games where he's just going to get carried. So 45 it is.
Excellent. Now, what is the over-under of average number of people who listen to the Dynasty podcast, would you say?
On a weekly basis, or just like listen one time?
They listen most times. Let's say that the ones that listen say 75% or more.
I'm going to say 7.5. Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to go 9. Well, I know for a fact Bob said he doesn't listen, so I know that he's out. But technically he listens live, so does that count? No, I don't think it does. He's not even doing this episode, so maybe he'll listen this week, but fair enough. I have a feeling there's a couple guys in the league that don't listen. I don't know if Jeff Park's tuning in every week, but...
Hey, John, do you agree with the 7.5, 9 over-under? You think it's less or more?
I'm going to say less. Yeah, I think...
I agree.
I know for a fact a couple coaches don't listen, and then just guessing. I wouldn't be surprised if a few others don't as well. But yeah, I would probably say about 5.
Yeah, I would say about 5 too. And it's really interesting because actually during the off season, the podcast was, I think, either number 1 or number 2 of the things that ranked out the most for the interactive stuff, but for some reason this year we've taken a big hit on listenership. I'm not really sure what we're doing wrong, and maybe we'll think about scaling back or not doing it anymore next year, but I enjoy doing it, so maybe we'll pick up steam as we head forward, or maybe people are listening and we just have no idea that they are. But anyway, Coach Bubs DeMarco Murray, as previously mentioned, is currently on track to break Larry Johnson's NFL record of most carries in a season. What is the % chance of him breaking this record?
Zero. There's absolutely zero chance he breaks that record. He's either going to get hurt or they're going to cut him way back, especially if they keep winning. There's no way he can carry the ball that many times. He's never been healthy in a full year, including college.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Maybe 2% chance, but he's going to break down. He's going to get hurt.
If I could check Larry Johnson's career after he had that many carries, too, by the way. DeMarco Murray's not an idiot. He's not going to allow that.
Which coach has the highest chance of not attending the Dynasty XI midseason hangout in a couple of weeks?
I would say Will, just to get some kids.
I'll go Brian, because I think he missed last year, right?
He did, and I will let you guys know that there is, we got 11 people who confirmed yes. There is one who said maybe, and I'm not going to tell you guys who that is, because I don't know if he really wants that known at this point, but, and I'm pretty sure he's one of the many that don't listen to the show, so maybe I should say it anyway, but anyway, I'm not going to for now. We shall see. Last question for you guys. At the midseason hangout, again in a couple of Sundays, what coach is the most likely to get so upset that he breaks the PJ DeFagowitz rule and literally picks a fight with another coach?
Well, he's going to be out of it by then, so he's out. Bob's going to be already in the playoffs, so he's probably out. So it's probably going to be me.
Yeah, I'm going to go 50-50 between Zach and I, because there's a pretty good chance both of us will have had a few beers, and there's a pretty good chance that both of our fantasy teams will be losing. So that's a bad recipe.
Especially when there's a game at 9 a.m. that day, so we'll be pretty looking up by the time we get there, so that should be real fun.
A couple of hot heads.
Yep.
Well, guys, thank you for joining here on the Oddsmaker segment. Good luck, and obviously we'll see you in a couple Sundays, and you guys take care of yourselves.
All right, thanks, guys.
We interrupt this broadcast to remind you that you can get all of the latest Dynasty updates by following the Riverdale Gazette on Twitter. The Riverdale Gazette Twitter page. Don't be left behind.
All right, Johnny, so since we won't have a podcast here next week, this is the final show prior to the aforementioned D11's midseason hangout. As I mentioned, 11 and 12 guys said that they will be there. Hopefully, the 12th will come. We'll see. We don't know. Either way, it's going to be a good time. I guess I'll ask you, maybe speaking for the rest of the league, do you have any questions or anything that you want to know going in, or are we all set and ready to go?
For the Dynasty hangout?
Yeah.
No questions. It's really straightforward. Go show up at Jillian's on time and have them bring your fun.
There it is. I like it. So we, as always, I'd like to thank everyone for listening and participating. And, John, if someone really likes this show and they want to make it known, maybe they heard us talking earlier about the fact that we think, although we don't know, that listenership is very much down this year and they don't want the show to go away and they want to make it known that, hey, I enjoy it, keep doing it. What should they do?
Well, I know what I would do. I would drop flyers off of a hot air balloon with a picture of Richard Attenborough's face on it.
that would do it. That would absolutely do it.
It would do it, that's for sure. But probably the most efficient way is to start following the Riverdale Gazette Twitter.
Yep. Well, I think everyone who listens to this show probably already is following, but they might want to maybe like the show or just send me a quick little ping or a message or post on Facebook, or there's so many different ways, Twitter, whatever. You don't have to. It's not a strict instruction, but if you'd like, that would be great. Anyway, no show next week, but as I said, we will be back in, I didn't say this, I'll say it now, in 2 weeks we'll be back. Bubba will be back with me. Good luck to everyone in week 7 and 8. We'll see you at the midseason hangout. John, thank you for co-hosting with me again. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed yourself. I enjoyed myself. So over and out, everyone.
See ya.